We're back with peace, knowledge, and wisdom. The channel that's exploring the Black experience in Steubenville in the Ohio Valley and nationwide, the Black experience in America. Today, we've had a nice, good point of view from someone that lived inside of one of the neighborhoods in Steubenville, which was the North End area. It was a predominantly Black area of Steubenville. But this gentleman's family and maybe just a few other families had some white families there. And he's given us an experience of how it was for him in the Black community and some of the friends that he had there and some of the things that happened while he was a kid. But what we want to go into now, if we can, Tony, I want to talk a little bit about your transitioning into raising a family and being outside of the actual area you grew up in, but still being in Steubenville. And if you've noticed anything about whether it's the Black and the white experience together, whether it's the old neighborhood, what's happened to it compared to when you were there, and just give us a little bird's eye view or Tony Reda eye view of North End as you got older.
As I got old, well, the thing was, everybody had families when we grew up,
Yes.
and you could leave your door open. Hey, we're going down the street. You didn't lock your door.
Mm-hmm.
You told your neighbor, hey, watch, I'm going here, just watch the house. And that's how it was. But, then as we got older, we still did the same thing, We went down and we call it Candlestick Park,
Uh-huh.
We go up on, it might not be politically correct, but it's the truth. We went up on Pollock Hill, which is flats.
Right. Yeah, flats. Yes.
And we played 5-on-5 basketball. All right.
Right.
Me, Styles, Levi, Eddie, Woo, whatever. And we played 50 cent a man. And that's what we did during the summer.
Right,
what I mean? We never lost neither because we couldn't, but we got the 50 cent to play. But we go down. And that's the way it was. You get a quarter beer, a bag of potato chip, you sit in the alley and listen to the guys.
Now, let me ask you this real quick. You would go up to flats and play.
Yep.
How, as far as people or what was considered the hangout or the place to play ball, what was the difference between North End basketball court and flats? As far was it just different people played different places?
One was white and one was black.
Where was white?
Flats.
Oh, okay. So you go up there. Oh, you go up there and take their money.
Yeah, exactly. We went up there 50 cent a man.
Okay, I see. Okay.
There no blacks on flats.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so no blacks up in that area.
None. Zero.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So Highland, that side of Highland, there was no.
No, only on that side. I can remember Paul Scipio lived there along there when I was a kid.
Is that
I don't know if
right?
you remember Paul or not.
I remember young Scipio.
Yes.
Okay,
Man.
Yeah.
His dad was named Clyde. He worked in the post office.
Oh,
But that was they called that Pollock Hill up there.
Pollock. I see.
I mean that's where
Okay.
Then
So
we'd go up there and we go up there in the summer. Just the summer. We play them guys. Get 2 out of 3 2 out of 3 games.
Right.
And we'd go on back down to North End.
I see. Okay. You ever have any problems doing that at all?
No.
So everybody still got along. You was from your area, they're from their area. You came
Yeah,
in and
well,
played.
we played, but that was it. I mean, wasn't no conversation or hanging out, none of that. So we played them, right? We just going back down to North End.
Yeah. So as you got older, you started to get a family.
Yeah,
so that you couldn't do that as often, or did you still go back down that area as your kids were younger?
No, I went down there to after I had kids. After I had kids, things changed.
Right.
Responsibilities changed. But all the other guys were married too. Now, it wasn't just me. Eddie got married. He married Helen, and Styles. He stayed around for a while. Went to church when he got out. He was around the neighborhood for a while. He moved to Youngstown. Worked in Youngstown, and Skip got married.
Right.
Skip was married. And Pluko never was married.
Right.
And Levi, 2 years of high school, he left and went to Edward Waters College in Florida.
Oh, okay.
He played basketball down there and track, and he was the last cut for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, is that right?
In around 66, 67, somewhere there.
Is that right?
Yeah, he made it to the last cut.
Oh,
then he got a job in management with Walmart all those years. He lived in Oklahoma and stuff. And he came back here about 10 years ago or something. He was working for Walmart down in St. Clairsville, and he got sugar real bad. And he just passed away a couple of years ago.
Is that
Styles,
right?
Yeah, Styles been dead. I can't believe them guys been dead for like 14 years. Him and Eddie.
Is that right?
Pluko too.
Yeah.
You don't know Pluko, but
no, I don't know.
But the older guys know what I'm talking about when I say Pluko.
When you say Pluko.
Yeah.
Well, now let's go. You got a son and a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your son's growing up in the Steubenville City schools.
Yep.
I guess he's heard all the stories here about you and your exploits in
Most
sports.
of them, yeah, as you got older, sports.
Okay, and then you coached him in baseball.
4 years.
And,
that was it.
and what about basketball or anything like that? So you coached him in baseball.
That was it.
How was that?
That was miserable.
Miserable.
I punished him. He's your kid.
Yeah,
He's going to take the blunt of everything.
He takes the brunt of everything.
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, he was a good athlete, though.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a lot of, with my wife and stuff, there was a lot of arguing and fighting because the way I treated him.
I've been there before.
You know,
I know exactly how
that's
that
all it
is.
was. And I was brought up, oh man, beat me with a belt when you got out of line. You got Then you're a backhand off the table.
Yeah, we need a little more of that nowadays, don't you think?
So you know what I mean. So I mean, I'd put the belt on him. I didn't hit the. I think I hit my daughter once, but it was just a love tap. I ain't gonna hit a girl, you know what I mean. But Anthony, he got what was coming.
But he did well in football. I know he was big red quarterback for a couple years or so.
And he went to Kent and played baseball.
And then he went to Kent and played baseball. So baseball was his real love.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't. He couldn't play. I mean, he wasn't big enough to play.
Play college
football in college. No.
Right. Okay. So how was his experience? And did he have any friends that were black? Did he seem to get
That's what most of his friends were black.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Coming up, like Quint Thornton, he was
buddies
with.
Yeah.
Andre McGee. I don't know if you remember Andre McGee or
right.
not. And then he had Steele. Him and
Steele. Gary.
Gary Steele was buddies.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
fact, we went to their wedding.
Okay.
My family and.
Now, do you feel that you being brought up where you brought up, that you were able to either indirectly, subconsciously or consciously be a household that your kids would befriend black kids?
No, man, you treat everybody the same.
Okay.
That's the way I always looked at it.
And so,
if I don't like a guy, it ain't gonna be because of his skin.
Exactly.
I just don't like you. You ain't no good.
Right.
Right. That's the way I try to raise my kid. Hey, man.
Right.
This don't mean nothing. If a person's good, they treat you right. You treat them right.
Right.
If you don't, you just don't do it. But the skin, color of the skin didn't mean shit to me, and it still don't today.
Yeah.
If you ain't no good, you ain't no good. No matter who you are.
Well, the reason I say that is, I went to Big Red.
Yeah.
You went to Big Red. He went to Big Red. At least during my time coming up through the school system, when you get to Big Red, you got your Harding kids, and you had your Grant School kids.
That's just when I went through high school. That's just how I was. I was with the same neighborhood.
And there were some white kids that came to Big Red that did not associate with black kids at all.
They probably never had no dealings with black.
I understand that, but my point is, a lot of them lived around here.
Oh yeah.
And your kids lived around here.
Yeah, but there was no kids here when they grew up there.
Well, I understand.
Only ones was here was Murray. You remember Dave Murray and them?
I remember Dave Murray and all them, but when I say here, I don't necessarily mean in just this street or the next street. I mean up on the hill.
Oh, on the hill.
A lot of the kids from up on the hill, Buena Vista stuff, went to Harding.
Absolutely. Well, my kids didn't. Yeah, my kids did go to.
Yeah, your kids went to Harding.
Buena Vista here and went to Harding. Yeah.
So my point is, when you say naturally, you say it as such that it's a natural thing. Of course, my kids, they didn't see race or anything. But there was a lot of kids that did come from Harding, that did see race, and that I almost know, that it came from the household that they go down there, hey, don't be messing around with them black kids, and so they didn't been no black kids home or.
No, but the truth of the matter is though, here's which you got to realize something. When Harding was there, my son went there. There was no Grant.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's true, so because I think it was only 2 years after we left. We graduated at
Grant went out, then everybody went to Harding. The first black kids came from over on the projects,
right?
From Jump Street. Okay. I mean, when Grant still was there, Todd Kelly and those guys came from over there to Harding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I called them the first recruiting class.
Well, there you go.
That was the first recruiting class. There's Reno up to his tricks.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was Reno up to his tricks. Because we were the first team that they actually beat.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was a difference.
You know I always tease Reno about it. Like, how did he get Jason and Todd
all those guys.
And Clarence and all them guys to play good football in the snow?
Yeah, exactly.
We was freezing. They act like it wasn't even cold out there. Like. Yeah. But anyway,
but when my kids went there, it was, it wasn't back in the day when I grew up. It was, supper. there was no. I don't remember one black kid going to Harding when I was in school.
Right.
And then you had the melting pot at Grant.
Exactly. You had a melting pot down at Grant, and where did you go? You said you went to Wales way back in your day, right?
I went to every school downtown. I mean, I went to Garfield, Wells, Grant, and Big Red.
Okay. So you went to all the downtown schools. So then your kid is growing, and what is changing in the North End? When did it get to the point where you stopped going to the North End, or things stopped happening?
Well, everybody moved. All my guys, they all left. They all moved. Left. You know what I mean?
Right.
Eddie went to Weirden. Skippy moved. Skip went down to North End no more.
Right.
Styles was in Youngstown.
Right.
Levi was in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And Pluko was all over the place, but he was only one.
Right.
Everybody left. There was nobody there.
Nobody there.
You know what I mean? All the guys I come up with. Right. The only people who still lived down there was Wu and them. The Simmonses lived on.
Yes. Right on Franklin.
No, 8th Street. They lived up the street on 8th.
Okay.
And, the only guy I remember, Styles, has lived there forever on 7th. Then you had the big Jim McLeod. But most of the people that lived down there, they left down there. They started going away. You know, the young guys I ran around with, they got married and had families. They moved away. They moved away.
But you seen once as they moved, it wasn't like people moved in. It was just like houses got torn down, and I guess the mill. The mill
run really killed everything.
Yeah, the mill pretty much
killed everything. It killed the whole downtown.
Right.
You know what I mean, I hear people, I ain't going downtown. I said, man, downtown's the safest place in Steubenville. What you talking about? I said, the dangerous part's on the hill now. I mean, you go up on a hill, you better be watching yourself.
Now, the movie theaters you told me about, you said there was 3?
No, there was 5. There was the Paramount,
right?
The Grand, the Capitol, the Olympic, and Ohio. The Ohio and Olympic was on Market Street.
Okay.
You know?
Now, did you go often, or was that something you guys did? Or
you didn't go often? Shit, you had no money to go.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you had no money to go to shows. I mean, if you like I said, we also got pop bottles and stuff like that. I mean, one of the shows on like a matinee. We used to go on matinee Saturday.
Right.
There'd be a lot of kids all the way down 4th Street to get in matinees. And it was 15 cents.
So let's say in the last, after you got a lot older, you were in the mill, getting ready to retire. You start living up in a different area of Steubenville. Yeah. You're now have different friends that you communicate with.
No, not really.
Now, well, that you talk to, but I'm sure things came up about the back in the day that they might have been talking about. Yeah, we used to go to the Ohio.
Yeah.
We used to go to Grand and stuff. And you have no recollection of what they doing. You just told them I had no money to go there. And,
no, I mean I had when I'd get money once in a while, but it wasn't you didn't do that all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. On Sundays everything was closed. That was the tough part. There was nothing open in Steubenville but the theaters.
Well, I think what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get a peek of the white perspective. Meaning,
I'm not probably the guy to talk to you about the white because I'm dead end.
Well, you are the white perspective. You just happen to come from a different area.
Yeah, but you'd have to get a guy that wasn't in that situation and see what. But you get a guy like that, he ain't gonna tell you the truth. See?
Well, that's true, but I figured they might have told you.
No, I told you what they told me. I don't know because I'd be sitting around the mill stuffing the thing, and guys would start talking about people.
You like,
what I mean? I said, I'm not gonna get an argument. I usually say, well, man, if you said, why don't you just tell him that? You know what I mean? Not even into that conversation. I mean, if you got a thing with somebody, it shouldn't be about the color of his skin.
Right.
It should be you and him. That had nothing to do with it.
Right.
So guys would talk about different guys. You know what I mean? I said, man, you know what? If you really feel it, why don't you just go ahead and tell him that? Man, you couldn't get one of them guys to say something.
So let me ask you this: if more white guys experienced what you experienced, do you think race relations would be different?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt because you can't walk in somebody else's shoes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You just can't do it.
Can't walk in their shoes, but you can walk with them.
Yeah.
And if you're with them, growing up,
I've had guys come in here on Wednesday. I got some guys, maybe 2-3 years younger than me, and my age.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is really irritating is we'll start talking about sports.
Right.
And for some reason, there's one guy keeps bringing up Tomlin. Hey, he stinks. This that.
Yeah.
So I told him. I mean, this is God's truth. He'll be here tomorrow. And I say, well, you don't like him because he's black.
Right.
And he said, oh, no, that ain't the reason. I said, well, what's the reason then? I said, the guy never had a losing season. He had an 8-8 season. He's never had a losing season as long as he coached. You're telling me he's a bad coach. Tell me somebody that's coaching now, outside of Bill Belichick, is better than he is.
That's right.
I mean, them are facts. This ain't about nothing but facts. Right. And that's a fact about Tomlin. Brother, you think he's a good coach, bad coach, but don't tell me about a coach because he's black.
Right.
That's what you don't like about him.
Right.
And that's what I told him.
Right.
And then they all, oh man, I didn't mean that. I said, hell, you didn't mean it. That's what you said. Now I got to shut up. Sometimes I get too big of arguments.
Right.
They ain't going to solve nothing, but sometimes I just can't help it. I said, I'm getting tired of this shit.
Well, and this is my perspective on, I was in NAACP, and I've always been, I do political things, and try to talk about, that's why I'm doing this, about the black community. There's a lot of problems we have within the black community that we all need to solve, but we need to have a perspective. I feel that where you grew up at gives you the ability to have the eyes to see that that's exactly why he don't like Tomlin, and a lot of people like him.
Everybody knows it, but no one says it. I mean, the guy that's sitting there, they know where he's coming from. Well, nobody will say nothing.
Of
course, some of them believe it too.
Well, some of them believe it, exactly. Some will come out and say it. Yeah. Probably,
Yeah, some don't.
But it's just interesting, and I think when, like, you're telling me that story, I always wonder if, because I've met white guys that I've worked with, that I'm friends with, and usually the ones I'm friends with feel just like you. In other words, they can see certain things that is obvious that normally the average white person acts like there's nothing there.
Yeah,
I got guys at work that says about Obama, the only reason that Obama had that problem was because there was people who didn't like him because he was black. The reason why Trump was able to get stuff is as soon as Trump came out and said, I'm going to put a wall up so the Mexican can't get in. Yeah. I'm going to put a ban on Muslims. Yeah. There's people who see him as, oh, he don't like people of color, so I'm with him. Yeah. And that's how he's able to get people around that thought that they have subconsciously and consciously. So
a lot of people still fighting the Civil War.
Well, yeah, to some extent, I guess we are. But let me just say this to wrap this up. I want to see if you have any last words. Where are we at in Steubenville now? What's some things you would like to see change, if anything? I don't know if you want to make a comment. There's been a situation in your home area where you grew up at down there about this miracle field.
See, I can't make a comment. I
don't know enough about it.
I don't know enough about it, and to me, it's just like, I don't know nothing about. I don't know how. I don't live down there now, so I can't make a comment about somebody else who live down there. But my point of it is, I go down there through the summertime. I go around I go everywhere. Ride my neighborhoods. I go through the alleys, everything. Oh yeah. But I never see kids down there, very many.
Right.
So I'm thinking, I'm thinking it's a good idea. But now you're telling me, well, maybe the college got something to do with it. Maybe they'll get free money because it's a low income. Maybe they're taking advantage of the situation.
Right. Now,
so I don't know.
Again, what me and you talked about off camera again about this is that it's not so much I'm saying that they have something to do with it, because I don't know that, and it wouldn't surprise me if they do. But I know they would be a beneficiary of it.
Oh, there's no question.
And so my point is, I'm sure they would back it, and I'm sure they would be for it also.
People come up, Tony Hall, I always call it Tony Hall.
Yeah, I know
University.
Right.
And they say, oh, look how nice that is over there.
Exactly.
Well, right now, no one ever playing over. It's just an empty lot, which I still can't believe no one plays down. Or you go down and practice.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But my thing is, I've seen it happen before, that an outside entity comes down, they're able to access some funds. Usually those funds they're able to access is because that area is low income. So they're coming from outside of the community, they're not in the community, and then they're going to use the money, and they're going to do it for what they want to use it for. The community that's there doesn't need what they want.
Or have a say.
And so right from the beginning, it's coming off in a wrong way. And so my point is, I think that, yes, most people who want it that might not understand what I just said want it because of what you said. There's nobody there now. It's not being used. If you're going to put $2.6 million in there, fix it up, and it looks like it's state of the art, why not clean it up? My point
there's always a counterpoint to whatever it is.
But my point is, I think that's a great opinion. But what it's going to be used for is not the only reason it can be cleaned up and fixed up. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So my point is there should be a chance to have it cleaned up and used a way that it might want to be used. And one of the things I'm going to propose and bring up is I put it out on Facebook today. I'll donate 150 hours a year. I'll donate $500 a year. If 49 other people will do that with me, we'll get a new Biggio girls. It might be Trinity girls. And we'll let girls from they got girls softball going on. Girls softball starting to get popular
girls
again.
Softball is more improper than kids playing baseball, right? There ain't no little.
And if we can get a sponsor with Trinity, we'll raise the 25,000. We had 25 from get a commitment from 20 feet, $25,000 a year, and we'll get an AAU team and base it out of there, and we'll bring that area back to life with girls playing.
Yeah, but you get money off Biggios.
Well, that's true.
I mean.
But it's not it's Terramana now.
Yeah,
if they're willing to do it.
Biggios used to sponsor.
I understand that. I agree. I just said Trinity because I know they got $25,000 underneath one of the pillows.
Well, I tell you what, their care out there ain't too damn flat. I ain't never had high blood pressure. When I'm sitting there Sunday by myself,
right.
I start feeling funny. I said, man, what the hell's wrong with me? Right? I said, man, I was getting worse. And I said, man, I got to go to the emergency room, right? I never had high blood pressure in my life. So I go, it's 195 over 105. I said, Jesus Christ, I'm having a stroke. So I go over there. I'm in that ER for 5 hours.
Right.
They said, well, we're going to keep you overnight. I said, overnight? It's already overnight. You know what I mean? They take me up in the room. You know, they take me down. They run all kind of tests on my heart and everything. And, you know, your heart's fine. I said, I could have told you that. You know what I mean? So doctor, my doctor's on vacation. This Murdy and this McGee guy comes in, right? And I'm talking. I said, man, I want out of here. He said, well, just stay one more day. I'm on a floor that only keeps you for 24, 48 hours. So the girl comes back and said, he told me to give you these pills. I said, what are they? He said, they're blood pressure pills. I said, blood pressure pills? I said, he ain't coming back here and explain to me nothing? No. I took the pills, but they did work. I mean, I'm still off balance. But I mean,
they work.
They brought my blood pressure down. But the thing of it is, I never had, my blood pressure's always been low all my life until just the other day.
Is that right?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I was messed up, man. So I mean, it was just an experience. And I told that guy, I said, you're spending $75 million on that extension. You should spend that $75 million and get some real doctors.
But they say once you get up in your ears, you just can't fly off the handle like you normally do.
I know. I can't help it. You know what I mean? I can't. I need to shut up. That's what I need to do. You know
well, Toad, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you giving us a little insight into your life back in Steubenville and gives the audience and stuff some memories of what Steubenville used to be out in the North End, at least to you and your friends around there. And I'm going to try to get a talk with Mr. Skip Patterson.
You have to talk to Skip.
Yeah, I'd love to talk with Mr. Skip and get him on camera. I think he would do it. Yeah. There you go.
I introduced him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ruth can blame me for getting hooked up with Skip.
But we're going to talk about that off camera because I don't want to get Mr. Skip in trouble or anybody in trouble. We want to thank you for joining us today on this this talk about the Black experience in the Ohio Valley and specifically the north end of the town at Steubenville. If you have any comments, of course, put the comments down. Remember to hit the subscribe button, hit that bell. Also share this. We want to make sure you share it to other people. We're growing on this channel, and every time it's going to be a little different. I'll get a little better, and our production team will get a little better. But this is going to be an information hub for the city, for the people in the community to start getting solutions to some of the problems we experience. And a lot of times you got to know your past to know what your future can be. And so we're going to look fondly on the past when we need to. We're going to be critical of the past when we need to be. But and like in this situation, there's a lot of fun times, a lot of good memories. And we just wanted to highlight those things. So till the next time, peace.